Welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Beaters, and if you're new to the channel, I am Oldhead Gaming, and of course, Dead by Daylight has dropped their 26.5 mid-chapter today. We also have the real full swing of the Moonlight Burrow going, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Lunar New Year's kicking off. We have new skins, we have a new tome just around the corner, probably starting tomorrow, and we're going to break down everything that's changing with Dead by Daylight. So of course, we're actually going to start with what the project notes look like. Event Moonlit Burrow. The Moonlit Burrow Lunar New Year event starts today at 1 p.m. So it's not live yet, a couple of hours from now, but it will be. The tome will start tomorrow at 11 a.m. The tome 14 is called Betrayal. Archive challenges. Dark Triumph Killer challenges as the executioner survivors who die inside the Cage of Atonement now awards progress. Terrified Killer challenge as the trickster survivors hit by Showstopper Blades no longer award progress. Near Miss Survivor challenges dodging basic attacks from the Oni and Ghostface while crouched now awards progress, and the Engineers Guild Survivor Challenge progress is now cumulative and no longer resets when a co-op match's action is interrupted. So those are the kind of the archive challenges. Let's take a look at what actually happens. Features. Quality of life. Survivor Action HUD. The Survivor Activity HUD now features an indicator that appears whenever the teammate engages in an activity. Activities include repairing a gen, being chased by killer, healing, recovering from dying state, cleansing, blessing a totem, opening an exit gate, or interacting with the killer's power. Merciless Killer. Moving forward, getting 4 kills will earn the Merciless Killer rather than previous double pip. So this is really good for all killers who've been trying to get adepts but just never get them because they're this far away, like especially Michael Myers. Like, I've not gotten it on either accounts. The queuing experience. Players are now able to browse the store, archives, daily rituals, and queuing for a match. If the mid-purchase when the lobby is ready to game, we'll wait for conclusion of the transaction, though it will kick the player if the delay is too long. While queued killers can browse the other killers, change their loadouts, customize, this will not affect their queued killer, who remains shown beside the looking for match. Dev note, due to potential disconnections during cinematics, we have added a disabled viewing cinematics with the party of queuing in a match. Wiggling. Following a period of beta, the updated wiggle system is now a standard for all players. Rather than mashing the left and right inputs to wiggle, follows a ping-pong skill check system. Based on the feedback we received from the players, thank you very much, we have had a few adjustments. Controller input handling hasn't been improved, which should allow killers to respond to wiggling more efficiently while carrying survivors. Survivors no longer shorten carry time by great skill checks. Instead, great skill checks will increase resistance for the killers. Size of the great skill check zone has been slightly increased. We have also updated wiggling sound effects for improved features. Alright, cool. We're going to look at these two in particular. I might skip over a few things that you can read, but we're going to break down what's happened with the buff to the knight and the nerf to the nurse. Wow, try saying that 5 times fast. While using his power, the knight is now forced out of guard summon mode after 10 seconds. While tracing a path, the knight's orb shrinks within the distance traveled, disappears completely after 10 meters. When the knight creates a patrol path longer than 10 meters, he will gain the haste status effect. The effect duration depends on the length of the path, beginning at 2 seconds, increasing to 10 seconds at a maximum of 32 meters. The 10-second duration was 6 seconds on the PTB. When the guard detects a survivor, if your patrol path is over 10 meters, the time it takes the guard to reach the survivor has been decreased. The reduction depends on the length of the path, ranging from default 10% to a maximum 25% if the path reaches 32 meters. Basically, the longer your path, but the faster your guard will move once he detects a survivor. Using a guard to damage generator now grants a 5% loss of progress, originally was 2.5%. Add-ons healing poultice. When survivors are within 24 meters of the assassin, when he spawns, their location will be revealed for 5 seconds, up from 3. So that's what they've done tonight. Now we're going to take a look at what they've done to nurse. So, base kit. Any attack made after blinking is now a blink attack, not a basic attack. This will impact how the nurse synergies with certain perks, including those that trigger on exposed status effect. And then he did a bunch of updates to her add-ons: Catatonic's Boy, Dark Signature, Heavy Panting, Ataxic Respiration, Fragile Wheeze, Campbell's Last Breath, Badman's Last Breath, Kavanaugh's Last Breath, Jenner's Last Breath, Torn Bookmark, and Matchbox. Now you can kind of read up on exactly what they've done to each one of these. I'm not going to break them all down, but it's been a lot. We've also adjusted the following: improved feedback for a Spasmatic Breaths add-on, updated Blinks recharge audio to give a better indication when the blinks are full. Eyrie of the Crows. Eyrie of Crows has received additional balance to make the map more fun for both survivors and killers. The map length has been shortened, generators are more distributed, the main building has been moved towards the map's edge, the strength of certain main building loops have been decreased, new tiles have been added, dead zone has been reduced from the border, exit gate no longer inadvertently spawns behind the main building, certain rocks will no longer be spawned close to hooks, and an alternate generator has been added to the main building. Okay. Bug fixes PlayStation Store banner no longer remains visible outside the store. PlayStation should no longer have trouble inviting friends to match. That has been a bug for 5-6 chapters now. That's awesome. Windows Store. Players should no longer be unable to successfully purchase RX cells from the Windows Store. All right, some audio effects. The Knight's Guard no longer gets stuck on various places on Mount Ormond. The Knight's Guards are no longer incapable of traversing certain passages on Mount Ormond. The Knight feet are animated first-person perspective when actively looking down. Fixed an issue, caused the Knight and the Spirit to see potential visual effects. Refined Serum visual effects while on path with phasing, respectively. The Knight's power no longer becomes unusable when using the order system immediately after entering patrol mode. The Knight will no longer be able to perform actions from unintended distances immediately after using Guardia Campagna. The Knight will no longer have permanent 5% haste stat effects upon creating a guard path under 10 meters. Fixed an issue that caused the Knight to entering path creation mode to trigger make your choices while standing beside a hook. Spirit's weapon retraction animation no longer speeds up. The Spirit's hair no longer missing from spectator's point of view in a custom match. All right, let's go. Twins. Switching between Charlotte and Victor will no longer lead to an unexpected black screen. Fixed an issue where Charlotte was unable to move after switching from Victor. Undetectable visual effects are no longer missing while using the Silencing Cloth add-on. Plague. Unstable risk can no longer become unaffected by Survivor infected by the Plague's power. Survivor perk and gameplay. Flashbangs will no longer spin while in the Survivor's hand. When the Circle of Hail and Boon is snuffed, Survivors in the radius no longer fail their ongoing skill checks. Survivors can no longer drop a flashbang grenade. Survivors can no longer drop a flashbang while getting healed. Firecrackers and flashbangs now trigger intended when thrown against the wall. Object of Obsession now properly increases the chance of players become Obsession at the start of the match. Potential energy should no longer remain on the Survivor after certain killers use their power. Killer perks. Fixed an issue with Hex. No one escapes death or remains active after first blessed by a Survivor, then snuffed by a killer. Resolved Hex Huntress inconsistencies between visual effects and UI maps. Fixed an impassable path between cedar walls on Batum. Survivors can no longer use momentum to vault onto the ledge of Pale Rose's Ferry. A specific generator on Garden of Joy map is no longer inaccessible from one side. Placeholders textures have been removed from Disturbed Ward map. Okay, easy peasy. Now some miscellaneous stuff. Nothing too exciting. Players should now get proper progress on milk and cookies. All right, open those boxes in the blood web. Easy peasy. Nothing too exciting. All right, let's see what they've done from bug fixes from the PTB. Cannibal's perk names have been corrected because Bubba's not leaving. The artist's legs now move correctly while rotating in place. Grabbing a vaulting female survivor in the spirit no longer causes clipping issues. As the Legion's Julie and Susie tally screen animations are corrected. Visual progress issue affecting tomes. Archive menu have been corrected. Pop-ups should no longer overlap. Improved accuracy and survivor activities. Intensity of the nurse's spasmodic breath vignette have been reduced. And Knight's undetectable vignette will now appear as intended. Bots are no longer getting stuck in Whacker's yard. Placeholder hill tile no longer spawns in Crota's Pren's Asylum. Eerie Crow's Shack. Like, this is just map stuff. Raccoon. Alright, we got some stuff in the maps, nothing too exciting. Killers can no longer accidentally land on top of a pallet in Midwich. Like, Pale Rose no longer spot with survivors to avoid pickup. Like, it's pretty much straightforward. Pig, let's see what they did to her. Survivors can no longer re-interact with the jigsaw box after attempting to remove a reverse bear trap. That's good, because I've seen times where, like, someone misses, and then they go right back to the same one. You're like, that's not how this works. More stuff for the Knight. The Knight Guard will previously attack the survivor will no longer play an attack animation after breaking a wall or pallet. Improve the Knight's guard path around, like, more was a nightmare. In this case, the ski rack no longer clipping the feet. Okay, twins. Charlotte no longer has a higher than intended movement speed boost when switching from Victor after having previously woken up as Charlotte. Charlotte no longer can perform any actions during wake-up animation. Twins may lose all functionality when stunned and blind. All right. Nurse, heavy panting add-on now extends the nurse lunge duration after a second blink as intended. Nightmare, when playing as Nightmare, red arrows no longer appear above generated during the intro screen. The Nightmare is also no longer unable to use dream snares. All right, let's see. Legion, Julie's mixed add-on no longer allows the Legion to attack twice in succession. Trapper's grabbing Dwight from a locker no longer triggers a skill check. Executioner, injuring a survivor from close up using punishment of damn no longer now gives punishment score events. All right. Killer perks and gameplay. Terminus now displays a cooldown for survivors opening the exit gate. Special attack lunges no longer inadvertently trigger a coup de grace. Whispers now works as intended. Killers no longer bypass decisive strike stun if the survivor is dropped before the skill check. Nowhere to hide now reveals the aura's survivors, that way the range upon activation, and is now properly centered on the killer instead of kicking the generator. The Hag's daily ritual of Flesh of Mud can now be completed. Survivors perk and gameplay. Wiretap now reveals the aura of the killer while they're blinded by residual manifest. Situational awareness no longer reveals the player's aura against lethal pursuer. Adrenaline no longer triggers every time the survivor is unhooked after all generators have been repaired. Renewal no longer keeps charging when survivors change states. The deep wound vignette no longer remains visible in the tally screen when the survivor escapes the deep wound state. Survivors now gain haste when grabbing the Knight's banner as intended. Survivors are no longer immune to Deathslinger's projectile during a fast window vault. Fix an issue where the survivors smash it may apply delayed movement speed for survivor than the nurse was stunned to charge power. Item of Obsession achievement can now be unlocked without issue. Agonizing escape achievement cannot be locked. Okay, cool. Let's see. Miscellaneous. Players no longer can use the exploit to play with 2 copies of the same add-on. That's a good one, because I've seen that sometimes. I'm just like, what the crunk? Entering the archives during event will track the previous event's archive challenge will no longer cause soft locking. In the Survivor with Bots tutorial, the killer will no longer be unable to down Survivor, and the Wiggle UI no longer can appear incorrectly during the Survivor's tutorial. Add an online chat to text to improve things. All right, so pretty good stuff. So apparently when you log in today, you're going to receive 50,000 blood points. And of course, we have the new skins coming for Vittorio as well as Feng. Let's take a look at those in the store. Doesn't look like they're here yet. Oh, maybe, no, they're not here yet. One? Like, it doesn't say that they're not dropping one, but it does say they are limited time. So this seems to be a thing. So if you want the Vittorio or you want the Feng skin, they only are available till February 7th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, the thing is, I don't see them in the store yet. Let me take a look at Feng. Let me see if I can go directly to her. Yeah, it's not a... Oh, there it is. For some reason, it's not on the front page, which is really weird. But there it is. Apparently, it is not even linked. So if you just want, like, the head or the thing, you can get whatever you want. And then it's the same for Vittorio. Here is Vittorio is also not linked, so if you want any of the pieces, you can go get them. Why they're not listed in the featured, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Maybe it's just my store hasn't updated yet, but you would probably expect to see them right here. But they are available now. You can go and get them. Also, if you haven't used it, there is a Blood Points code. That code is Lucky Blood Points 2023. Now, I've already redeemed it on this, so it's going to say I've already got it, but that will give you 168,888 blood points if you wanted to go with the 50,000 they gave it. And there you have it. The 26.5 is live. The event will be live at 1 p.m. completely. Maybe that's when you'll start seeing those skins for Feng and Vittorio actually in the feature, but they are available now. You can go directly to their page and get either the entire skin for 1080 or just the individual pieces for 400. You can do whatever you want. Tell me what you think of this update. Are you excited about Nurse being nerfed? Are you unhappy that they're buffing the Knight? Are you happy that it's easier to get a depth? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching and later, mates.